So once again, this is Dan the Glassman here. We're outside the front yard with Luna Star, having a little swim time, and Dan the Glassman here. You're going to be doing a watering of the front garden here. As you can see, we've got this garden bed. This is mostly just some greens. I've got some peas that are going to be popping up towards the back right now here. A little bit of strawberries up in the front. Some onion popping up on both sides. Had some arugula here. The arugula took over this whole bed, and so I just pulled that out, and we're going to be replanting this very soon. We're going to let this lettuce just, we're going to be harvesting it, and then we're going to turn it into a huge bed of lettuce and greens, salad greens, spinach, all that stuff. This here, we're going to try to get some of these desert daisies to come back. Hopefully they'll reroot. And this is AC May's. If you can see, it's her actual signature made in rocks. This is her little garden I did for her. And we got some squash or cantaloupe that's going to be popping out from here soon. There's some mint right here. We have some self-watering containers here, some kale, a tomato. We have our mint here. We've got some basil that's going to be popping up out of these beds here. This is a really nice mint bed here. And then if you turn around right below us, you'll see I have my box spring mattress that's been converted into a raised garden bed. And we have some tomato starts popping up over here. So like every other one, there's some tomatoes coming up. As you can see, there's another self-watering container there. That's another wicking container. That's just a bucket of soil that's ready to go for some planting. Basically what I've been doing is starting my seeds inside. I'll see if we can get to that on this video. And so this is our raised box spring mattress, garden bed. And we'll have some peppers and some tomatoes popping up in here soon, and we'll see what kind of room we have to add some more stuff in here. Here's another pepper here. I think this might be green chili. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if it's hash or hopefully it's not bueno. Bueno is no bueno. They've been researching GMO seeds and crops here at the University of New Mexico, and we don't want GMOs, so we just say no bueno to bueno chili. And sad. All this here is all organic. My compost I make here, it's all organic. Basically that's my tumbler, compost tumbler. I've got like weeds and grass and leaves and stuff drying out there. Basically I let it dry out first, and then I put it into the compost. It helps for the breakdown process a little bit quicker. There's my 55-gallon rain barrel garden. As you can see, all the pockets that have been shaped with I've melted each, I cut slits around the whole thing, measured them out, cut slits, and then I melted it with my glass blowing torch. People use the hot glue guns that they use for wallpaper and stuff like that to heat it up, and then you shove a 2x4 into the holes there. And so basically I did that with my torch real quick, and that was, I don't know, 5-10 seconds per hole, good 30 minutes to an hour. And we got nothing growing over here in this bed, and we'll get something started there. Down on the bottom, you can see the arugula is gone to seed now. We're just letting that dry out and seed. There is one onion down there at the very bottom that is being watered still. It looks all dead down there. There was a tomato that I transplanted from these here. These are self-watering containers. As you can see, we do have a tomato in there. It's a little yellow tomato. Hey Luna, please don't. That has enough soil. Thank you. And so basically these are raised up on these rings, and all I do is I just water the bucket now instead of each one. Basically you're supposed to take off the top part, like this part here. You take the top off so you can put water into the bottom reservoir. You can see the reservoir. There's a wick inside of there. The wick is absorbing the water, wicking the water up into the soil directly to the roots. And that's where the plants want the water to be. So this here, I think it used to be a fountain, and they covered it up, and then there was a bunch of cactus don't know if you can see that box of cactus. I moved that. Luna accidentally fell into it and miraculously did not get poked by any of them. And I foresaw it happening, and I should have pulled them up before she fell in, but luckily she didn't get hurt. As soon as it happened, I pulled them up right away. And transplanted a couple down there, so we did save the cactus. We didn't want to kill them all entirely. Right here, got more onions. There are 2 self-watering containers in the ground. Those are 5-gallon buckets, actually, that are in the ground there. I don't know if you can see that or not. The little white tube right there, that's the watering tube. So you can fill water directly through there, and it'll absorb the water through the top. Those ones, however, didn't really work out as well as I was hoping for. They didn't really grow what I was hoping to grow. Didn't seem like they were wicking properly, or I don't know. Something was going wrong with those. So I'm going to have to redo those this year. Pull them back up and then put them back down in the ground. But I do have some carrots growing all around that area there. So hopefully we can lift those up without disturbing it. And then on the bottom here, we do have some either some sort of squash, zucchini squash, eggplant, or not eggplant, sorry, spaghetti squash, zucchini squash, or melons. I don't remember exactly. So we're going to let those grow. And then at the very edge right here is a little groove that I've put, and I should have some basil popping up very soon, right in the front right there. And I'm hoping we'll have some basil, and I'm hoping we'll have some tomatoes all down on the bottom here, and we'll have a bunch of peppers. We're also going to turn this whole top area soon. As you can see, I've turned this area. We're going to go all the way around to this whole area. We're going to grow all the way up against the whole fence and everything. And there you go. You can see we have a nice terrace front garden. I should have had a lot more plants going already and in the ground. I didn't know I was going to do this level on the bottom here, and I didn't know I was going to add this level here. So these are all new levels. We've only had the box raised box spring mattress, and we've had the these are pallets. Sorry, I forgot to mention that. Pallets in the ground. They're only, 4 or 5 inches deep. I just basically lined them underneath with the black liner to keep the weeds from getting up under it and keep the soil directly in there, keep the organic compost separate from everything else, And so basically that's what we got going here. We have a planter here. It's a topsy-turvy, and I have it dripping into that planter there. There's not really anything growing yet. We had an heirloom tomato in there last year. I thought it was going to come back, so we're waiting to see if that comes back this year. And as you can see, the topsy-turvy, I put a bottle on top, and it has a wicking system up there. Basically, it's got a drip system, so it'll be dripping constantly throughout the days. I may need to make it drip a little bit faster, though. I think it's not dripping enough to keep that whole entire container dry. As you can see, I have a whole bottle. It's a smart water bottle, smart water bottle, and that hasn't dripped more than a quarter or like a fifth of that water there in a whole day, so it's not doing its job. So we're gonna have to either open the cap, let it pour more, or we'll figure it out. We'll regulate it somehow. So, but there you go. And as we're doing this, we still have that water boiling in the backyard on that rocket stove. And before we're done here, I'm gonna show you one more thing. Just make sure that this is all nice and moist here. And one more thing I got to show you before we leave here, and that is the drip system that we have going. And the drip system is up here, and basically it is a rain gutter system that has a tubing coming out of here, and basically, I don't know, I think I might have got Luna wet. And basically we're filling up this planter here. It's basically on a frame. This was an old, Luna, you'll be alright, I'm sorry. And so basically we're just filling up this with water. I put a cork in here and drilled a hole through it to run a fish line through it. And then that fish line basically runs down to here and then drips. And then it teeters down, drips back down, 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 and then all the way into a 10-gallon fish aquarium. And that fish aquarium has a pump, so we can actually pump that water directly up this line from there, and then it goes up and then it'll just drip right to here. So we actually have two systems working here. So as you can see, there's water going through. Sometimes it gets a little plugged up, so we have to work on that or fix that some. As you can see, there goes the water starting to drip, and it looks like it might have got, no, it's just working its air through. So it should start dripping in a little while, and this will be full pretty soon. As you can see, we're just filling it up pretty much to the top, and then that'll drip almost all day. And also I have it spliced off with the manifold here to where we can have these containers. I had them in towers. There's a tower back there, and they were drip towers, basically vertical drip systems. They would drip through a hole here, and then they'd hold some soil or hold some kind of growth stone, and then drip and drip and drip, and basically those would drip down into this container, and then that has a siphon that sucks the water from there into that bucket. So it's a continuous flowing water system. And so there you have it. Let me show you one more thing real quick before we go, and that is where we have our seed starters. You can see my little here's a 10-gallon aquaponic setup. Basically I raised the filter up, and it's dripping into the growth stone, recycled glass material, and it pours out the very bottom here. I got 3 holes there. We got a pineapple, we got this lettuce that we're letting go to seed, we got a tomato, a carrot that basically cut the top off a carrot, and you put that into water, and that starts to grow. It's not going to grow a carrot, but it will regenerate seed. You can see this onion too. This onion has boomed, and we now have some seed popping up off of there. And now this is where we have a staging of some self-watering seed starters. All of these have tomatoes. We just put them in a few days ago, so we'll check back in a couple days. Hopefully within the week we'll have something popping up. Not sure what that is. That's popped up a while ago, but we'll see if we get any kind of tomatoes coming up in the next couple days, and then we can put these all in the ground. Probably be more than I need for our front yard. So we'll end up probably selling some and giving some away, trading some out and stuff. But once again, this is Dan the Glassman, and thanks for checking out our front yard garden.